All righty. Well, buddy, PJ, thank you so much for joining me today here on Leftist and Chill. We invite my friends in the spirit of building leftist unity, strength, and power. And that's why we have you here today. So don't fuck it up. Okay, sir?
No pressure. It's right. Only the fate of humanity rests upon this next hour.
We're going to save the world with this podcast as long as you don't fuck it up.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro. One Patreon sub at a time. Let's do this.
Really excited to have you here today. We're going to have ourselves a nice chat. We're going to learn a little bit about you. Maybe try to squeeze some good lessons out of you. We're going to get as much out of you as we can here. So, my man, PJ, we know each other because of Kenzo Shibata. I believe you probably know me because I produced his show, Meet the Left, and then we probably started following each other on Twitter. Is that what happened there?
Yeah. It was the old account. So pretty much, yeah, because I meme too close to the sun with my Twitter.
Too close to the sun.
But yeah, so a general gist of it is like I want to say last summer. Yeah, about last summer, last fall. I decided to give a look at this Twitch platform because I was mostly a boomer and just fucking with YouTube and Facebook for the most part. Not really even developing content. I had a show that I did with a buddy called Slacker Americana. That was just like us, we did it before when I lived in Pennsylvania, and then the shutdown started, and we we're like, fuck it, let's do this again. Right. So, it was just, it was exactly as it sounds, like two slackers just basically riffing on the news, kind of leaning left for the most part. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty much, I went over here to Twitch and I saw Cole James Cash and you and Kenzo were doing the big charity stream that weekend for helping, it was helping out some of Cole's people.
October,
and I was like, these folks are fucking cool.
It paid for this inhaler, which was like almost $300.
It was for you. It was to help you. That's right. It was to help you out.
A bunch of other folks, yeah. We raised about $1,800 in 2 days.
Fuck yeah, and it was just cool because of I mean this platform versus YouTube because of how there is that instant interaction with your content creator and then the audience and so forth and so on. It's just just following you around. It's like, oh, here's the left circles, and cool, and just been hanging out here, and it's it's cool as shit.
It's pretty cool.
Cool as shit.
Yeah, it's totally like nothing else. Twitch, and I think I like it because of that.
Even Twitter left circles, I don't know much of the priors to a lot of these. Again, I'm the boomer here. I'm the millennial grandfather, as I describe myself. Oh my right?
You're a young guy. You don't have to tell me how old. But...
Oh no, I'm the one of the first to turn 40.
Whoa, old balls. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, old Turkish taffy balls. There we go.
Beautiful.
But yeah, like I said, it's really cool. I mean, I guess because it's in sense because of how the format is set up and the interaction that happens versus Twitter, stuff gets buried. I mean, you get banned and you have to go find everybody again and shit because you send tweets at Stephen Miller that they don't like.
Right. And there's no one there to tell you live, TOS, Dan, TOS. You can't delete it. PJ, delete that tweet. All right.
Exactly.
Different. It's different. Cool. Let's dig in, PJ. Let's dig in.
Sure.
I want to ask you, a little bit about what you're up to now. You could talk about your projects, maybe if you're doing something professionally or if you have leftist related projects, and also, where folks can find you on the interwebs.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the easiest thing is just follow me here on Twitch, right? Because like I said, I had a Twitter account and it got nuked, and now I got another Twitter account, but I don't want to put it out there all like that in case it gets nuked again. So just you'll find it on my Twitch right
Basic
here.
PJ.
Yeah, just that's the easiest.
Well, you gave me an Instagram. You gave me your Instagram. Am I wrong or did I do that wrong?
That might be.
Was that my fault?
Else. I don't have an Instagram.
I fucked that up. Don't go to his Instagram.
I am such a Luddite when it comes to a lot of the social media and social networking and stuff.
Well, I fucked that one. I'm sorry about that.
So if anything, I would take this space because I'm currently not doing anything on the streets at the moment. I was doing Occupy ICE. I was doing free stores with Sex Worker Solidarity Network and so forth. But I would tell folks to look at Food Not Bombs any mutual aid group, and especially look at the ones in Tampa. There's such amazing fucking people here that just the work that they put in with what they have to fucking face and deal with. It's truly inspiring, you know, like I'm trying to get back out there, even if it's just like Friday nights, you know, just doing the Food Not Bombs thing at the main kitchen, just helping them bag meals and stuff like that.
Nice.
But you know, life and trying to find work and all that good fun stuff. So yeah, I mentioned that, and then I guess like non work related, quote unquote.
Sure.
I'm a musician. I had a cover band in the area. Then COVID happened, but now it's coming back around. Me and the guitar player and I are trying to reconstitute, find a lead singer that's not a dick, like the last lead singer was, and find a drummer. And then from there, just go hit and then hopefully on my Twitch channel, I'll be live streaming these shows. You'll be just at least get a nice little camera shot off in the corner, and you can hang out with me and my buddies as we play music. But at the moment, it's, you know, I try to stream what I can. I stream specifically. I try to focus on Tampa news, and Florida news. Like that's kind of like my purview. You know, it's one thing, and nothing against folks that riff on the national stories. Yeah, you know. Lost Sue. The fuck's up? Yeah, it's one thing to riff on national stories, but like I said, there is a lot of shit here in Florida that, oh boy. I mean, everyone knows about the Florida memes, but like some of the other stuff that's been happening, like it's like everyone talks of Kansas and the failed Republican experiment that was Kansas. Like Florida's going to be the next one, right? And it's going to be pretty bad because there's a lot more people here than Kansas, and Florida got away with a lot of like dirt under the carpet, simply because of the tourism dollars and everything that would flow in here from spring break and spring training and vacations and all that. But it's changed now, right? It's all changed now, thanks to good old COVID. But
man,
got my 5G shot. So
yeah, you get them both, or the Johnson & Johnson is a one shot and done, right?
One timer. Yep, stood in line for 2 hours in a fucking blacktop asphalt parking lot. I was like, all right, just let's go for it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Just get it done. Yeah. Damn,
exactly.
Dude.
But yeah, so Tampa Food Not Bombs, Sex Worker Solidarity Network, Border Victims Patrol, Border Patrol Victims Network. There's several of these groups here in Tampa. That FIRE, FIREE. It's an indigenous rights group.
They got a good festival too.
No, believe me. If Fire put on a festival versus the other clowns, it would have ruled. It would have been amazing. You know, not that fucking $30 fucking cheese and bread sandwiches and styrofoam, right?
Exactly. Cool. So we've learned a little bit about what you're doing. Let's talk about I don't know. We call this leftward bound. I don't know if you identify as a leftist. That's fine if you don't. I don't know how you identify ideologically or whatnot. You don't have to. But at the very least, you're here on this show. You're leftward bound because you've made it here. Go ahead and talk about your politics, how you've reached this place, maybe some foremost experiences along the way.
So yeah, okay. I jokingly refer to it, but I think I am also like serious. Like I describe myself as non-denominational leftist.
Okay. Right? I've never heard this. I love it. I know it's funny, right? But like I said, describe it as non-denominational leftist in the sense that I don't. It's not necessarily anarchist. It's not necessarily communist, right? It's a matter of like I still debate over like, okay, how much of the state do we need? You know, it's almost like you can say like it's still the discussion that's happening between Sam Cedar and Jamie Peck of like, okay, how much anarchism versus how much statism has to be involved. So that's where I say it's non-denominational. You know, like I guess for me it's just personal experiences. Like I went to Catholic school and I was in Catholic school for a majority. What's that? I was saying 2 in a row. Ashlene also. Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. So it's weird. Catholic school like inadvertently creates radicals, right?
I know.
Inadvertently radicalizes people.
Complete opposite of what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, it's you know what, there is a thought there, but I don't want to get too lost on it. So what for me it was Catholic school. Like I was, you know, I took it seriously. Like take care of the sick, feed the poor. You know, help your fellow man, woman, child, and human being out. It's like, yeah. But then at the same time, like I was targeted for bullying. Like, look at me. How can I, you know, of course I was, right? But there was another dynamic too, where in kindergarten, I was abused by my teacher.
I'm so sorry.
She and it wasn't sexual abuse, but it was a time in Catholic school, and this was towards the end, but they could put hands on you.
Yeah.
You know, they could put hands on you, and this woman would just put hands on you for getting questions wrong. You know, it'd be like, oh, you know, go to the chalkboard and do a math problem, and I do it wrong, and I get slapped and hair pulled and shit like that. So it was definitely something like, because I look back on it, and especially therapy, it was like a signifier to, like, it was two things. One, it signaled to the other kids, go ahead and fuck with them, right? Because if an authority figure is doing it, then it must be okay. The other thing too is that that's where, like, you know, my very big skepticism and cynicism of authority comes from, and so I'm always very like in so much like challenging, and a distrust, if you will, of authority.
I will.
But yeah, I guess it was just a matter of like, my parents were kind of like, they were Democrats, or kind of are, you know what I mean? So they were already leaning Libby left in a sense, and it was just you just growing up like, you might in your early 20s flirt with libertarianism type bullshit for a little bit, but then you just like, oh wait, this is fucking dumb, you know, as you just go and you live life. Again, like I said, a lot of it's just life experiences, like working 50 some jobs in like 22 years, right?
Oh my God.
Just living on couch leases with friends and shit like that. Dealing and making corporations and small biz tyrants rich, you know, while you're just like, I can barely fucking pay my electric bill, dude, you know, and then you're yelling at me because I'm late to work because I had to go and try and, you know, shake any type of change out of my couch to get gas, you know, like, and you're yelling at me because I'm late to your $8.50 an hour job. Like,
yeah, it's like you're literally stealing money from me and you're mad at me. Go fuck yourself.
So again, that's like I said, it's to kind of like, I don't really read much in theory, you know, like I hear some shit on the podcast. Like I went to one, oh hey, got a tier 1 sub. There you go.
Got a boof.
Boof's back.
Hey, boof.
But yeah, it was like I joined up at the DSA like when because I'm originally from Philly, and then I joined up with DSA for a little bit during the Occupy Ice time, and I went to one like Communist Manifesto reading, right? You know, that was about it. And it was like, cool, all right, yeah, you know, like everyone should get a piece of the pie because they put the work in. Yeah, I'm down with this. Like, you know, tell me something I haven't been feeling for years now, right? But yeah, I guess, like I said, it's just a lived experience. I mean, for me, like when seeing those kids just being tossed in the cages, like that set me off in a sense. Like that in 2018, that really did set me off. Because I don't know, like I guess I could empathize in the sense of like, damn, I remember being a kid terrorized by authority, right? And then this is happening like here now, like no. Fuck no. And hearing kids like, I don't know, that's going to be one of the answers to the questions down below. Sure. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, just those images and like the sounds of those kids, like it upset the shit out of me. And I was like, nah, what can we do? And yeah, just asked around like, hey, might try that Occupy thing with an ice building around here. And they're like, oh, hey, come to the meeting. I was like, oh, cool. Like, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, quite disturbing to see those images, and the right will be like, oh, well, what about Biden? He's not doing anything about it either. And we're like, exactly. You're getting it. You're all on the right.
And that's the thing too, is like, how can one sit there and take a look at all the violence that's happening and then not be like somewhere on the left, right?
I know. This
like
the year 2020 is the year that should have fucking radicalized everybody. Sorry to step on your toes there.
No. I mean, you're dead. You're dead on with that. I mean, and if it's not necessarily radicalizing people to like, oh no, you know, doing occupation fucking demos or anything in that terms, but it's just being like, you know what, man, I'm gonna put my bullshit aside. I'm gonna put the fucking mask on. I'm gonna go get this vax. I'm gonna be cool to the fucking people at the store. I'm not gonna, but it's age of self, age of the self. Okay.
Well,
So.
now we've talked a little bit about, and let me know if you had anything else to add. But we've talked a bit about what you're up to, what's keeping you busy. We've talked a bit about your leftward bound journey. I wonder if you could take those experiences, distill them into some helpful advice for a younger version of yourself. If you could go back in time, or of course, if they're listening in the chat.
I had two ways to answer this. This one is going to be on like the actual like kind of political work type of tip, and then one on a personal tip. So the personal tip, straight up Marks or myself, we both say to my younger self, dude, go get your help.
Go get your help.
Go get your mental health help.
Okay.
Right. Go take care of you. Right. Because you're not going to be any good to the team if you ain't good. Like, and if you have to like reach out to people on that, and not in the ways before of just being angry about it, just being like, yeah, can you like help me find a fucking therapist and blah, 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 and so forth and so on. So that would be on the personal tip of like, take care of yourself first. Right. And then get yourself like better, quote unquote, whatever the operative word for that. The political side of it would be, don't try and fight the bosses on your own. Because that was, I guess that kind of, maybe there's a hand in hand with this. Because like rather than taking the time and being like on the sneak, on some good sneak tip and some good strat and good strategy and practice of like, yeah, let me just talk with my coworkers here, right? Let me get them all on board and organized here. Instead of just being like, hey, I'm going to stand up and just try and kick the door in myself, and then everyone's going to come in after me. And it's like, nah, not really, man. Not really how it happens. You gotta establish these connections first. I mean, and this could be what happened with the Bessemer thing in Alabama. It's like, hey, we're going to do a union vote. It's like, yeah, cool, you did a union vote, but was there really that time of going out there and establishing those relationships and those connections with everyone that's going to be involved, so that that even if they kind of look away like this, they're not flinching on you and they're voting yes. You know what I mean? Like. So yeah, that to me is definitely like two of the things is one, take care of yourself, get your shit right, and two, don't try to go it alone. Don't try and go it alone because I mean I can, it's just flooding the memories right now of all these places in like my 20s and 30s. Just don't go it alone. Talk with your coworkers and get them on board with some shit first, and then, yeah, it's easy to say that 20 years later.
That's why we have you here saying it now. That's the point. Who knows? Maybe someone will catch that and something will click for them. I think some things are clicking for me. Some things are clicking for the audience right now. Excellent advice. Thank you for sharing that. All right, let's move on to the Leftist Inquisition. This is the questionnaire. It's a work in progress. It's evolving. All right, so PJ, first question here. What's your favorite word?
Disingenuous.
Oh, like you just don't like the word, or you don't like people who are...
No, yeah. I think because it just perfectly describes... Yeah. It just perfectly describes like the bullshit, right? Like how else to describe them? It's just so disingenuous. You know what I mean? Like when you see like a Crowder do the video he did today about the idea, it's like, dude, you're being disingenuous about the folks involved and the topic. It's just perfect. It just perfectly surmises it up, and it's that much of a 10-cent word that you sound even super smarter. Right. Then who you're talking or debating, be like, this is quite disingenuous, my good man. Like, oh, you sound smart. Like, it's a good fuck utility word right there. That's all I got.
Nice. How about a least favorite word?
Interesting. This used to be a favorite word to use, but now I don't like it. Cunt.
Yeah. You don't like no. You're done with it.
I'm done. And any that
why
cunt, bitch, twat, stuff like that. Because it's just, it's just it's hack. It's hack. Okay. Like it's just because it's just a matter of like, I mean, I used to be a big Opie and Anthony fan. Okay. Like I had like problematic likes. There was some problematic fandoms growing up, right?
fine.
But the thing was, is like you're just sitting there and you're looking back, and it was just like, wow, it's just such a crutch, you know. And then when you sit there and you just look at the connotations of it, it's like, okay, we're going to take women femme presenting, right, and then it's just going to now become, oh, it's dehumanizing because it's creating like this subclass, you know what I mean, like because it's a human being, but it's like a notch or two down. Oh, you're a cunt, you know what I mean, like. And you have to use like an entire gender or an identification, if you will, to like to set that up, you know, like that's the bar that it's set against. So I just take it out because it's just also like the spaces that I'm now running in. It's like, you know, maybe there are, like I said, women femme presenting that don't want to be hearing that fucking, you know. Yeah, well, one thing about that too, Deidre, it's kind of funny how he waits until the week DMX dies before he talks that shit, right? Like, it's funny how a lot of these dudes, they only got deep into the lyrics after the motherfucker dies. They did the same thing with Old Dirty Bastard. They were they were like, oh, you know, these white people listening. I saw ODB and Wu-Tang with Rage Against the Machine at the Spectrum in Philly. God damn it. I was allowed to sing all the words, okay? No one had a problem because we were all having fun, okay? But no, these guys
hilarious.
Waiting, yeah, they gotta wait for ODB and DMX to die before they be like, oh, you think it's a problem? Hey, did you see the footage of Woodstock '99? Yeah. So, but it's that again that it's into a pejorative. Exactly, Boxer. That's exactly what. Thank you. So you got the bigger words than me. Perfect. Y'all help me out in the chat here.
Chat's always got the big brain. How about PJ? What's your favorite drug or vice or guilty pleasure?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you one of each.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. All right, so the drug is obviously that weed, man. Come on. That weed. The weed, right?
Yeah.
It's just so perfect, right?
Yeah, I mean,
vice. Video games, yeah. Like I can tend to get lost, like because I'm looking at it in terms of like gambling as a vice, like gaming and games and stuff like that. Like I can get pretty vicey with them and get lost into the sauce with it. Like especially when I wasn't working, I'm putting like 12 hours into Rust. It's like why?
You're big into Valheim, right? As well.
Oh yes, yes. Playing with that. Well, although Dirtbag, he went solo.
Is that right?
Yeah, Dirtbag went solo. He
went solo.
I want to try my own progression.
God, he's so funny. That's all he streams these days. I love it.
Well, I guess it was in part too because he got tired of like seeing the frame dip from all of us building all this megalopolis shit on his map and his server. So it was
that guy's totally taken to Valheim. Dude.
Yeah, he went back to the the Anprim, it seems. I mean, it's
yeah. I didn't know that. He got burnt out on politics. Is taking a mental health break. That's beautiful, actually. I like to hear that. Yeah. Good for him, actually. And
then the guilty pleasure. I mean, like I don't know if it's a guilty, but I playing the instrument, man. You know what I mean? Or just or air tapping drums, like anywhere, just doing something kind of like creative like that.
All right, then PJ, how about a sound then or a noise?
Oh, I'm gonna get so nerd on you and very specific.
Please.
So, give me that Paul Diamore, Rickenbacker, bass into an Ampeg with distortion, early Tool record sound. Give me that. That to me is like the sexiest fucking bass tone, like hard rock bass tone. It's got a little bit of grit. It's wet. It's quote wet sounding.
The Rickenbacker, right? the guitar the bass guitar that Paul from the Beatles played. That Rickenbacker, or is there a different one specifically?
Oh well, okay. If it's the violin motherfucker, then that's the Hofner. That's a Hofner. Yeah. The Rickenbacker bass, the RB 3001, I believe, or 4001. I've been out of the game for a while now, selling the shit. But no, if you see the bass that Lemmy used to play from Motorhead. That was a Rickenbacker, that red and white thing. Okay. That's all. That's the only way they fucking come too. But yeah, that to me is that that to me is like the sexiest fucking sound and or noise right there. That I could just a good, slightly gritty, wet. I mean, what's his face? Getty Lee from Rush. He would
You talking
get
about
it a
this
little bit.
Rickenbacker? Is this it? You see, am I?
Yeah.
That's
So
Lemmy too.
Paul Diamore was the first bass player for Tool, and he played that. And then
All
they
right.
got another guy, Justin Chancellor, but there's something. It's close, but it's not it. And I try to cop that sound. So
That's fascinating. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yo, that is specifically nerdy and awesome.
yes.
How about then a sound or noise that you hate?
So hinting on this from earlier, women and children like in pain. Just hearing women and children like screaming in pain. I don't know what it is about it. It just sets me off. Like I don't know. Maybe there's like this paternalistic fucking switch of like I want to be I need be a protector or something like that. Good family man. Fucking something goes off in me or whatever. But yeah, that, like I said, that's when I saw the vids with fucking. I mean, I'll tell you this even so much, man. I can't even play like Mortal Kombat and watch people do the fatalities against the women characters. Like, I can't. I can't. I don't like hearing the screams. I don't know what it is. I just don't.
It's fair. That's fine.
Fuck the dudes up all you want. Fuck them. I don't care. Right?
Finish him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flawless fatality. What sound? Oh, wait. Okay, moving on from the sounds.
Yeah.
So how about we talk about reincarnation? So if you were reincarnated as some other plant or another animal, what would it be?
Probably a cat. I'm very much a cat as a human as it is anyway. Right? I guess because you're being a Leo. Yeah, I guess it's.
That's a Leo thing? Oh, yeah. Wait, what is Leo? Leo's a cat?
Yeah, Leo's the tiger, man. Or the
Leo
lion.
the tiger, right.
Leo the lion, the tiger, all that stuff. Yeah.
In the sky. Okay. All right. Yeah, everybody wants to be a cat.
Yeah, because
Speaking of bassists, right? Thundercat. Everybody wants to be a cat.
True. There you go. Damn.
Yeah. You know Thundercat, right?
My guitar player has told me about him recently. That's the one thing I missed out on is because I focused so much on current events. I've like stopped like hearing.
This like is a bass-led band. This guy's like a funky ass like jazz. He's really skilled bassist, and he sings, and the music's a little weird, but baby, it's some of the best shit out there right now. Definitely check out the Tiny Desk concert.
Okay.
Thundercat. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That's why I feel. It's just why I feel so bad in a sense because there's been such amazing music in like the past like 10, 15 years, and like I don't hear it, and not because I don't like it or have anything against it. I love what artists do. Like anyone who gives shit on any like pop art, pop music that's currently out at the time, I just point and laugh at those folks because I'm like you're sounding just like your parents did when they talked about your shit. So shut up. You know what I mean? Like what's going on? Like, and honestly, especially like when you hear like some of the rock fellas get all kind of upset about hip hop, it's like, well, you know what? Hip hop's at least taking fucking chances. Like, when was the last time there was many rock bands that took fucking chances? You know, or the label, I should say, nothing against the bands or the artists, because there's definitely some out there. But when was the last time the labels took a fucking chance? You know, like, stop being such a curmudgeon. I want to be a cool 60-year-old when I get there. Okay.
Hell yeah, dude. No, I'll be right there behind you. Then how about this question? This is the God question. So if I don't know, by chance you find out someday that heaven and God exist, I don't know, what would you like to hear them say when you arrive at your version of the pearly gates?
Roll up there. St. Pete just looks down. He says, "That'll do, pig. That'll do." PJ.
All right. On a slightly different note, how about if Marx or another influential leftist in history rose from the dead and you told them what you told me here today? What do you think they would say?
That'll do. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig. No. I mean, he probably. I would say he might have a disappointment in the lack of theory, right? But I think he would actually be happy to hear the more self-diagnosis, quote unquote. You know, in the sense of like, hey, you know what? Okay, yeah, you recognize the faults of like getting organized. Because I mean, that at least my takeaway with Marx was you got to get organized. You got to get everybody organized. You got to get the factory floor together on the same page, and that's your power to then go take on capital and their protectors in the state and so forth, right? Yeah, I think I mean he probably gives like some pointers, be like, yeah, hey, work on this and work on that. But I mean, it's hard to say because it's not like I don't. Is there much much writings and works of Marx that are not political oriented? You know, like in terms of like, yeah, you kind of kick back with some chartreuse and fucking listen to records or some shit. You know what I mean? Like or went to the opera or what have you. Like, so yeah, it's hard to say what his personality would be like. But I think that I'll just stick with that. I think he'd be like, oh, okay, you recognize that you didn't really fucking do the organizing thing smart, you know, or take the opportunity to do it smart when you started to feel it or recognize it in your 20s and like, yeah, you know, I could fucking forget they've got a union in this fucking shop. Fuck this guy, you know, like. Okay, there's me, the old 5'7" little redheaded battering ram. I'm gonna get you. Really? You know,
you're 5'7"?
Only, yes. I am
you come off as much taller. Like you come off as a 6'2" kind of guy. I don't know what it is. It's so weird.
It's got to be.
You look like you're 6'2".
It's got to be the camera angles, maybe, and it's got to be just the way I don't know how people like are how they present themselves when you know. I mean, the fact that you thought I was like
so weird.
Himbo. Yeah, the fact you thought I was all himbo. It was like, yeah, he's 6'2", fucking 210. He's just all chiseled fuck rock. Look at him.
Fucking jet as fuck over here, dude. No idea. I had no clue.
But the funny thing is, here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that I had the opposite happen, right? So, Bleep Blop Ben, right? You see him sitting. Yeah, you see him sitting all the time.
Yeah.
And I figured, oh, Ben's probably an average height guy. You know what I mean? He's probably average build. He's probably like me. He's probably like maybe about an inch taller than me because he was a good boy and didn't smoke cigarettes in high school, and I did. Okay.
Your height.
Yeah. Yep. So then all of a sudden there's a photo going around of Ben with his shirt off,
ripped,
and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm 6'1", and he looks like he plays like, you know, fucking free safety for the Philadelphia Eagles." It's like
total thirst trap.
Yeah, it's like he's like, oh yeah, they were wondering what to do for the banner of my YouTube channel. Just show your V. Just show your ab V. That's all you need. Yeah. That's all you need. Like I was just like, wow, where did they get this marble in Greece?
Yeah.
To fucking chisel this man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That guy's the prototype. He must work out. I refuse to believe that's him. It'll just literally change my fundamental view of who Ben is if I succumb to the belief that's actually him. And I think that makes him mad. He's like, no, that's really me. And I'm like, he deserves
that's definitely him. That is definitely him.
No, I'm just so mad about it. I'm jealous is really all it is.
Yeah, that's another thing, kids. Don't smoke cigarettes.
Stunt your growth.
Yeah, they stunt your fucking growth. Yeah, especially. Dude, I could have been a contender. Like, I was pretty good in ice hockey, man. Like even as a kid who only got like a year year and a half experience on ice before actually competing. Like, you know, I was because all the other, you know, versus all the other kids that were born with skates.
Yeah,
you know, and this was outside of Philly too. So it was even already like a snobby fucking thing to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
So PJ, think about this. You got some time left.
Mm-hmm.
You got some time left here. I'm talking about in your life, you know, in general, also in the chat, but in your life, you got some time left. What would you like to hear Marx say at the end of your life? What would you like to hear them say?
Hear Marx say,
or another influential historical leftist or leftist school of thought. If someone could chat with you.
To be quite honest with you, I really wouldn't want to hear it from them.
Sure.
And it's not that I would want to seek out a thank you for anybody that I've done. If anything, I would want to be able to get that Tiny Tim ability, or not that Tiny Tim ability, but the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future ability of like, take me and just show me. I don't need to speak to them and they don't need to speak to me, but just show me that they're doing better. Just reassure me that they're better off, and that like my efforts help them be better off. You know, like because that's the thing. I don't expect the fucking reward. I don't expect anything. I honestly, I mean, as the old saying goes, like, you know, there's trees planted by men who will never enjoy, or by people who will never enjoy the shade, you know. And I know it's amongst the right wing and the chud types that say that shit, but it's also something that I even understand too. Like, I don't do this necessarily for me. This is really for like my brother's kids when he has them, right? And for their kids, you know, because it's just going to be, you know, pessimistic boy as fuck sounding or whatever, but like I don't see myself having a family. You know, like and it's not because kids are yucky or whatever, but it's just a matter of where I'm at in life and trying to get shit, or I'm still a kid in a way, right? Sure. You know, like in ways, but it's also just like getting the position, like what I would like to have to like, oh yeah, I got this stability to be able to raise the family, so it's not fucking a struggle, because I wouldn't want the kid, because a lot of parents in our age group, like that's the biggest thing that just breaks them up, is this is like, I don't want my kid to deal with shit. I don't want my kid to deal with bullshit. You know, like I saw my parents like struggle to deal with shit, and they had appearances and sets, you know what I mean? Like it's what we all want. I mean, it's the overall, I don't know, my grandmother told me it's like leave it nicer for the next guy. As soon as when you're done with it, you leave it nicer for the next guy. That's the whole fucking plan. And then if he leaves it nicer for the next guy, then it's easier for the next guy. Then it's easier. Then it's easier. Then it's easier. And then when it comes back around to you, it's that much easier. You know. So Italian Catholics. What can I tell you?
Italian Catholics.
Italian Southeast Pennsylvania Catholics.
Well, PJ, I hate to say it, but that concludes my portion. Of the leftist inquisition. What we can do now is have the chat submit their questions in the chat. You can ignore anything you don't want to answer, and you can answer any questions that you're into answering. And at the same time, if you have questions for me, this is my chance to try to give you the chance to ask me any questions. I don't want it to be entirely one way.
Earlier, you reminded me of a conversation I was having about comedy. Can you give me your definition of a hack? Okay, so. Okay. All right, it's going to be subjective in lots of ways, right? So, but like a hack that I was describing, and in terms of like some of the cats that would roll through the Opie and Anthony couch, like I would say, for example, like Jim Norton gets hackish, right? In so much of ways that like he has this thing that he can't, like he'll always constantly lean back to like AIDS jokes and cunt, right? Like it's just fallbacks for him, and it just starts to get to a point where it's like, all right, dude, like. Cool. You know, there's obviously more ways to express these things without having to fall back to like a catchphrase in a sense. What's your favorite song you've written or a bandmate has written? Oh fuck, man. I mean, honestly, it's the whole Messina record. You can get it at reverbnation.com. Here, I'll just type it in the chat too. reverbnation.com/Messina. And it's that shit that you played that one time there, Dan. Yeah, that was the old band, New Hope, Pennsylvania, by way of Philadelphia.
If I were to play it here, would I get a DMCA strike on YouTube or something like that?
No.
All right, let's give you a taste, y'all.
Oh, this one has a bass solo in it too.
Time.
Really tight.
Stepping through the doors that close behind. Mistakes.
All right.
Along the line.
All right. We'll go ahead and make sure that we share that link in the YouTube video where we post this later. Awesome. Y'all sound great.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. Got to do some touring with it. Did some touring.
Yeah.
Yeah, up and down the old 95 tour. Classic East Coast runs from Philly to Florida and all that shit. Touring.
As a musician, that's something I've always wanted to do. Never got to do. Yeah. Tour. Tour.
Well, it's. I mean, I didn't. It was the one or two times. It was 2 times. It was 2 legs, one to the north and one to the south. Like, I wish I did more. Obviously, would love to do more. But where I'm at here in the beach areas, like you can get shit tons of gigs. You don't got to leave. You ain't got to go anywhere. You know, like, and it could be a mix up. It could be your own songs, like a Messina, or do the cover band live jukebox thing. So, all right, Link's got one. What's your favorite Radiohead song, and who's your favorite drummer of all time? Radiohead song, honestly, is a toss-up between Paranoid Android, Body Snatchers, and Airbag. And then the drummer... Ouch. All right, I'll just give you 3. Kelly Scott from Failure. Definitely Josh Freese, who's on everyone's fucking records. And what who would be a third? Give me Matt Cameron. Give me Matt Cameron out of Soundgarden. Yeah, I mean there's I mean John Theodore, give me John Theodore, Mars Volta, and all that other shit too. Yeah,
I think the Soundgarden drummer was touring with Billy Corgan recently. Am I making that up?
No, well, I know that Matt joined Pearl Jam, and he was doing both. He was doing Soundgarden and Pearl Jam until Chris unfortunately took his life and shit.
Oh man.
Who is the best, and why is it Jeff Tate? Well, I mean, it's Jeff Tate, man. It's you can't fuck with Jeff Tate. Operation Mindcrime. Dude, Queensryche is some shit, man. Like standing next to you, like, all right, but damn. They only had like the one song though. That was about it. Same with Tesla. That was another. They only had the Sign song, but they were apparently like they are like these massive like prog hair metal bands. Get no radio play today. None. So, I got questions for Dan.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, Chicago, whole life?
Am I going to live here my whole life, or
so far have you been like born and raised Chicago kid?
Yeah, born and raised in the suburbs, and just spent a little time in the center of the state going to school, and spent a little bit of time out west, just sort of doing random sort of gig type work, and then I've lived here with my partner for the past 10 years, and I don't know, we're on the fence. I know you didn't quite ask, but I don't know. It's possible we live here the rest of our lives. It's a beautiful city. It's a world-class city. It's got a lot of the things we love. But I think we could find possibly that living elsewhere could be good for us too. And we're exploring the idea, but who knows?
I'm going to try and recruit all of you Twitch streamers down here to Florida.
You want me to become Florida man?
Well, because it's cheap. It's cheap to live here, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's cheaper to live here. So y'all come here, so you still get the same money from your subbies, right? It's the same breakdown, same cut, and then we'll like just totally flip and radicalize the fuck out this state.
It's gonna take a lot of work.
Hey, land's cheap. I'll get a
pretty red, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it like quite? Well, it's a battleground state, so could be one someday.
Red.
I feel like we should go to Texas instead, dude. That's going to be a blue
that's
state
going to be
soon.
that'll be the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to change everything.
Demographics.
That's going to make the Republicans regret not fucking with the Electoral College. Of course, they're going to want to change it at that point.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
Besides music, if you could, for me, apparently this is me. Besides music,
Yeah.
if you do anything, well, let's both do it, right? What would it be?
Right.
Outside of music, acting would be cool. Teaching, I think teaching would be cool. I'd be the cool history teacher.
I don't even write poetry, but I'd write poetry. I would just sit on some porch somewhere.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I would. I'm at an age now, like where it's just I don't know. Maybe because I get older, low T. Who the fuck knows? But it's just like I'm tired of this physical labor shit. Like we got machines now. Come on, like. I didn't see reads life insurance papers. So let's say my husband was gone. How do you feel about?
Boxer Brit, is that a joke about murdering your husband and taking the insurance money and marrying PJ? I'm not understanding what that is. What is the joke?
Oh,
I completely misread it then. That would be crazy. Oh, so yes. Okay, great. All right,
no,
PJ. Yeah.
No, honestly, I'm not opposed to. I'm not honestly not opposed to marriage or this, that, and the third. It's just that I the last relationship I had was a long distance one, and it was someone from New York, and I was flying up there once a month, and it was thought it'd be something, but no, turned out to just be frequent flyer miles for nothing.
I can't win them all. Well, PJ,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that that concludes our interview, our chat for the day. This was wonderful, really nice.
Absolutely, thank you.
Another opportunity. We've chatted before, but it's nice to have a more formal opportunity to get to know you a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that I'm looking forward to having you back. Maybe a couple weeks or so. We can do a round 2. Of course, we've got the questionnaire out of the way. I don't know if I'll have a round 2 questionnaire or if we'll just make it a little bit more just time for us to chit chat about whatever the fuck we want to chat about. But we're looking forward to having you back. Thank you for joining me today. You beautiful goddamn
Absolutely,
human.
man.
I love your face.
I do appreciate, and I love your face as well. Do appreciate because it was also cool in the sense of fact of like, hey man, let me just start like analyzing a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because I've had a lot of experiences, and it's like, yeah, that some of that shit was messed up. Like, I mean, I'll give you one last one. You know, sleeping under the Dannenhauer Bridge in Norristown, Pennsylvania. You know, like, and for about a week or so, like that shit sucked, fucking sucked, and it's like that's why I lean on that lefty shit because it's like, yeah, that shouldn't happen to people. You know,
it can happen to anybody.
Exactly. So, all right, Dan, take it easy. Look forward to the next person coming up too. So.
You're beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Peace out. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me. We'll check you later.
All right. Love your face. Oops. Is it broken? Did I break it? I think it's broken. That's Besa PJ. Oh, gosh. It's so nice to hang out with my friends. Hey, YouTube. You're watching a clip from my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/iDanSimpson. Where you can follow for free and subscribe for only $5 a month. Thanks for watching.